I'm not wise. I'm hurt. You know, people always, after I have a conversation with them or something, they're always like, "Oh, you're so wise. You're so smart. You're so sophisticated." But but truth be told, there's a reason why I am the way I am, and how I got there. That 99% of people, it just seems unfathomable to, and they couldn't even imagine it of of the path I took. You know, and it wasn't even intentional, anyways. It was unintentional how it happened, but it happened. And so in order to get to that place of wisdom, you have to take a path of pain and loneliness. That way, you can understand yourself, and in my case, understand the worst parts of myself, and that proved too much for me. And I was 15 years old at the time. I'm 18 year old now. I'm 18 years old now. I'm a senior in high school. But at the time, I was depressed, and I was a 15-year-old freshman. I didn't know how to handle these thoughts, and I took it out. And instead of taking it out on the world, this hatred out on the world, I took it out on myself. And looking back at it now was crazy, but it was part of the path that I unintentionally chose. All right, I'll give an example for this first time. So, in middle school, I was a straight A student. I had like a 3.8 GPA. It was great GPA, great grades, and I got them easy. I was lazy. I was in like the normal kid classes, whatever. And in high school, freshman year, my parents, they're like, "Oh, my kid's a genius. I'll enroll him in the biomedical program." Biomedical program. That's like for nurses and stuff like that, and for doctors. And my brain isn't really wired for that, but they enrolled me anyways. And 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 because of that, I pretty much my grades just collapsed in on themselves. So I went from getting like straight A's with like a B every once in a while to getting like D's and F's, like 50% D's and like 50% F's. Really, it was that bad. It was horrible. It was like I'm gonna have to repeat freshman year all over again. It was that bad, but it was just depressing, really. And I was a shy kid at the time, and I didn't really have much friends. And the only way I could boost my ego was by telling myself I was better than these kids, because I got fucking straight A's on my report card, and you got fucking what? You got like 3 B's. So I'm a better person than you, obviously, right? And so because of that, in middle school, I had no friends to rely on, nobody to talk to, and so coming into high school with these bad grades, my confidence just fucking fell through the ground. I became so damn depressed and fragile, and my parents, they were pissed at me. They're fucking yelling, screaming at me like every other night. They get drunk. They just stare at me while I did my homework, or like I acted like I did my homework, because And that's the crazy thing about being depressed. You just sit there. You'd rather just sit there and do nothing than do something worth your time. It's crazy when you're depressed. Fucking, you can't do anything really. It's just nothing. It's crazy. And since I was shy and introverted, I kept everything contained inside. So my pain was only recycled, and it was like fuel for a fire. Just fucking went up in flames and combusted. Before you knew it, the fucking flame was hitting the damn tree top. It was so damn big. It was basically a fucking nuclear explosion at this point. And after like a year later, and by the time at the end of my ninth grade, my freshman year, I was like, fuck this. I'm just gonna try to end my own life. I didn't tell anybody. I didn't let anyone know. Not even my mother. And for those who don't know, my mother is very close to me. I let nobody know, nobody at all. And so, you know, I found this bullet from a couple years ago in middle school. I found this bullet on the school campus one time. I thought it was really cool, so I decided to keep it. And I bought this cheap BB gun for like $5 on the internet from like China. And after I bought it, it was of course crap, but it worked. So I tied this bullet to the end of the gun, and so that way it would fire, and everything worked Everything was flawless. Everything. I mean, absolutely everything, except for when I pulled the trigger and the gunpowder ignited. Not all the gunpowder went off. And since not all the gunpowder went off, I was still alive. Of course, I was bleeding. I was hurt. I was fucking, knocked down, kind of blacked out for like 10 minutes, and then I woke back up with blood running down my face. But I survived. I survived something that I shouldn't have survived, and because of it, because I survived that, I became immensely powerful. I shouldn't have survived that. It's like, I really shouldn't have survived that. It's like 1 in a billion chances of survival like that. The gunpowder was getting old. And it didn't go off all the way. It's fucking crazy. It's like God fucking came in and told that gun not to fire all the way. It's insane to think about. But yeah, that's for another video. But because of that, I became like Harry Potter to like Voldemort. I survived something that no one else could survive, and because of that, I've become like immensely powerful, like mentally, physically. Maybe not physically. I'm still kind of weak. I can only bench like 100 pounds, but whatever. Not telling anybody. But mentally, I've become untouchable. And only as an 18-year-old kid, I fucking, as a senior in high school, I outclass all my fellow students. I'm most scary, intimidating dude, and that's how I walk around. I walk around with like swagger and shit, and a lot of people hate that, but it's just part of my personality now. And so like, I say only like 5 kids in the entire school full of 1,000 people aren't intimidated in the slightest by me. So, and then you look at real men. So let's say guys over like they're 20 and up. Some of them are scared of me. I'm just a little fucking dude. I'm average height. I'm 5'10", 5'9", somewhere between there, 69 inches. I'm somewhere in between there, and it's just. And the thing is, I can just look at someone, and they'll just fucking turn away. Walk the other direction. It's fucking insane. Just a look can do that for you. It's absolutely insane. And I can't. And a couple years ago, that would never happen. People would look at me, they fucking laugh because I was, this disgusting creature. Disgusting, depressed creature. But, since I've become so wise, as I say it, and powerful, I can't be brainwashed or manipulated by anything, really. And because of that, my resources, they're completely and totally mine. I'm 18 years old. I have more money than my mother. It's insane. I have so much fucking cash saved up for my job, my work. I'm almost at $9,000 right now, which doesn't seem a lot for you guys, but I just turned 18 like 2 weeks ago, so $9,000 in fucking high school. That's like my brothers. They can't even keep $10 in their fucking wallet without spending it on some condoms or some shit like that, But discipline goes a long way, and being hurt and being wise, and that's what gets you there. And that's the point I'm trying to make.